I represent the Capital Region in New York, the Albany, New York area, and just impacted by so many of the cuts that our constituents are raising their voices, very, very concerned. And Donald Trump and his GOP allies are purposefully making this shutdown as painful as possible for the American people. They have made it no secret that they are attempting to entirely eliminate federal agencies. Seems to be their underlying goal. And the Department of Education is one of their top targets. This is illegal. The president cannot eliminate entire federal agencies without approval from Congress, but they continue to go forward with this agenda. He attempted to illegally fire thousands of federal workers, something that no previous president has done during a shutdown. These cuts are unnecessary. Trump has proposed steep funding cuts across the federal government, including the Department of Education, which would have a devastating impact on our children and our communities. In fact, compared to this time last year, the Department of Education has been reduced by more than one-half, as thousands of staff have either departed or been fired. This has been going on since day one of this administration. Now he's using the shutdown that he caused to go even deeper. In the most recent rounds of cuts, 466 employees were fired at the Department of Education. That was a fifth of the remaining staff at the agency. These firings affected those who oversee Title I grant funding, which is designated for low-income schools, the Office for Civil Rights, the management of the 21st Century Community Learning Centers, which facilitate summer and after-school learning programs. There are 3 employees left at the Office of Special Education Programs. 3. That's 3 employees left at the office that oversees more than $15 billion worth in funding under the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, IDEA, and ensures that students with disabilities are receiving the same opportunities as their peers. 3 people. Who is going to answer the call when a family is desperately trying to get the resources that are necessary for their child? Who is going to look after the promise that children of different abilities in this country are supposed to be guaranteed the same opportunity as their peers? Who is going to assist every school in the nation with this monumental task? That seems like a pretty big task for just 3 people. We must confront the reality that when we cut education, we cut opportunity, we cut innovation, we cut our nation's future. Depriving students of resources today increases the risk of leaving behind an entire generation of students who are unable to reach their full potential. The Trump administration does not have to do this. They are deliberately choosing to inflict as much pain on the American people as possible. Families across our country are now getting hit on multiple fronts. First, the Republicans' big, ugly bill made the largest cut to Medicaid in history while refusing to extend tax credits that make health care affordable for millions more. Now they're gutting access to special ed and resources that millions of schools and families rely upon all across our great nation. Lindsay, I heard your responses to my colleague, Representative McGovern. But are there other things you would tell us about in terms of the devastating cuts, what they mean to your family, what they mean to Calvin, what they mean to families like yours?
In the state of Virginia, as I mentioned in my remarks, the JLARC study showed that there were instances, vast instances across the Department of Education in Virginia where they found that students were denied a free and appropriate public education. In those situations, they are supposed to be given compensatory services to be made whole. What the study found is that VDOE does not follow up to ensure that those compensatory hours are being met and that those children are made whole. So our next step would be to go to the Office of Civil Rights, which is no longer available. So the backstop for families like mine is there is none. We just don't have a voice now to help support these students who are being denied access to an appropriate education. And if this is the trend in Virginia, with the budget that we have. I can't imagine what that looks like in states like Alabama or Louisiana, where they are also, disability doesn't discriminate. Everyone will have disability in their life at some point. It is not partisan, it is not a party. Disability will touch every single person, and it can happen at any single time. So there are people who are really going to suffer. There are children who are very much going to suffer, and there are teachers. The teachers need our support. Special education is the most critical area where we have a deficit in teachers. And the resources that come out of OSIP to help support those teachers are no longer available. So we're making it harder for people to enter the profession, and that's very scary.
Well, thank you to the panel for being in this fight, each and every one of you. And with that, Madam Chair, I yield back.